Welcome to the video. I'm down here at Waterfront Place. I've been calling this the Urban Beach on social media, but I think the official name is actually Waterfront Place. There are actually multiple exits, as you can see. This is a little bit of a tour of it, kind of ad hoc. There's still a lot of people about. This place is still getting worked on. I'll talk about that as we go along. I'm right now in the kind of garden section of it. As you can see, there are trees, plant beds, several of them in this area. You can see, you know, some of the trees obviously still being held up, just being kind of basically planted and being supported and kind of guarded as well. You'll get people, kids, climbing up on them. So you can see kind of there. There's a few seats as well. You can see here there's a couple from where I was standing, and then you can see there are some. Obviously this is Dundee. They are you know, quite concreted in, so there's some seating there that you can sit on. You see the water feature there. I'll talk about that in a moment. You can see up there, that building is the cycle hub. There's a bike shop and a small takeaway in there. The bike seems to, I don't know whether it sells actual bikes, but there's accessories, parts for your bikes there. There's also public toilets in there, so you can come up here. We said there's people cycling. Part of this regeneration of this area is in fact to encourage cycling. Talking of which, you can actually, you can walk as well. You can cycle all the way, cycle or walk all the way way up there. There's Invergowrie, and if you keep going all the way down there, there's down to Carnoustie. So you're talking a good 10, 15, 20 miles. That is at least as possible. I know some of my friends have walked kind of quite a bit of that area. You can see the water feature here. Actually, I'll show you the water feature now. You can see it's rows of, what's it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 of these water jets. You can see them there. They're also going through a different cycle of displays. I believe they can actually be adjusted or changed, because they are a couple of they are doing slightly different cycles than they did initially. Initially it was just kind of the sprouting water, the shooting water really, and now part of it, as you can see, it's going through a kind of recharging cycle, I think it is, to kind of gather the water up again. But it kind of spits the water at least, but you can see that. So you can see well, it is lit underneath. Actually, you can see it now. You can start seeing it now because it's getting about 4:30. You can see lights underneath it, which means the water lights up when it gets dark. It gets switched off at some stage, but I'm not entirely sure what time actually they switch it off. But I've come down here several times in the very early morning, and it's switched off. As you can see, there's also a seating area. These are large benches for people to sit, and there's also sand there for kids to play with, or I don't know whether there's much. I don't think there's enough to make sandcastles, but kids can play with it anyway. Sure, if you gather enough up, you can probably make some sandcastles, maybe. I'm not sure how deep the sand entirely is, but as you can see, there is quite very long benches, so it can accommodate a lot of people. This is very long benches. So wooden benches, obviously. That's the part of it where it's called the kind of urban beach, because it's kind of trying to be natural materials and kind of, obviously we're on the waterfront here. This is the waterfront. So an actual location, I should really tell the location of it. Obviously there, right there, is the V&A Museum. So if you come to the V&A Museum, you just walk down. There's a kind of archway in the middle of the museum. You can kind of see it there. There's kind of two parts to it. If you come down through the archway, you can actually come through and just come down towards the Tay Road Bridge. You can't miss this place. You really can't. Obviously the Tay Whale, I'll come back up here and I'll show you guys the Tay Whale. You see, this is the sculpture that I uploaded in the previous video of it coming in and of it being unloaded. So there you can see, hopefully I don't know whether this, where's the lens on this thing here. You can see it's like better there. You can see it's obviously a whale. Well, you can't really see from this angle that it's a whale, but it is a whale supposed to be swimming through the water. Let me go back this way. There is going to be a kind of interactive kids play. Maybe you can see it better from this angle. It's a bit difficult with this, with these fencing here. That kind of gives them a little bit more. I know you can't. It's a bit difficult to angle it, but you can see others. You can see it's a whale kind of nut shape. The whale, the tail, right over there, or the back, and then the kind of fins, I suppose you'd call it, and the body. It's supposed to look like it's swimming through the ocean. That's what it's supposed to look like. Done by a gentleman called Lee Simmons. I believe I'm getting the name right. Lee Simmons Art, I think he is on social media. This travelled all the way up from Sussex on a kind of barge, as you can see in my previous video. Maybe you can actually, if I didn't see that there was a hole here. You can see that there. You can see that better there. The work underneath is there's going to be a bit of an interactive play area. Apparently it's going to contain something that plays whale noises also. I don't know how it's going to look when it's finished or what it's going to be like, because I'm you know, I'm doing this, but there is going to be an official opening apparently, but when exactly I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye out on all the social medias and Dundee Culture as well. It was Dundee Culture, which is a social media enterprise thing run by a gentleman called Andrew Batchelor, I think his name is. I hope I'm getting that right. And he promotes things and events and stuff around Dundee. Young guy, but he's really just starting to do well in that, and so you can see it there. So that is kind of like I said, you can really see it a little bit just there. So this is the it is, I've knocked that on. So that is Dundee, the Dundee Waterfront. This is what it looks like just now. Honestly, it's looking quite decent. Looking quite good. There's a lot of people, some people complaining about, you know, money for this, money for that. But anyway, with a photographer's eye on, I'm looking forward to seeing the tail area finished. Looking forward to seeing, you know, all done and everything, because I'm, you know, even just looking at it now, I can see some really good angles to take a photograph, especially once these barriers are down. You know, I've seen some great photos already on social media, not done by me, where it's basically the water feature, and you know, with the whale behind it, you can see the colours and see the whale. So looking forward, kind of looking forward to seeing the barriers down, it all finished, and I'm sure, especially in sunsets and stuff, I can get some really good images, I think. So even when you get under, when you're able to get underneath the whale as well, then you can get some interesting angles here that I'm seeing. Certainly seeing a few good ones. But enough about that. That'll be for in a future date, probably some point next year. But yeah, so this is the waterfront place in Dundee. Yeah, I think it's going to look good when it's all finished, all done. This should be a great place for people to come in the summer.